famous Reddit mod from Livestream Fails. He's back. Somehow he has returned. And apparently, according to Atozy, he has destroyed his life. I don't know how. I have not been keeping track of what this guy has been doing, but according to Atozy, he did something insane. So let's see what the hell this guy did.
This Reddit mod is called Congress because he lost his job as a Reddit mod. I have never seen a stereotype more.
Wait, what? He contacted Congress because he got booted as a Reddit mod? Are you fucking kidding me? And are you fucking kidding me right now? There is no fucking way this is real. There is no fucking way this is real.
True in my life. This guy's entire life revolves around being a Reddit mod, and he is doing his absolute best to destroy it. Because just within the span of a few...
Yeah, but by the way, this is, his name is like Stale 2000 or something like that. This Reddit mod is the guy that basically made that video that we all pointed and laughed at, who said that they are as big as influencers, that they're actually bigger than streamers, and that they should be paid better. They should be paid like rock stars. Yeah, that's this guy. This is the guy that thinks Reddit mods should be treated like literal rock stars. And yes, he went on side scrollers. And Vera basically just roasted the fuck out of him when he went on side scrolls. He went on there, like a lot of the people that were on side scrollers just kind of listened to him. And Vera flat out said, "You're a fucking idiot. You are completely full of yourself and you're an abject fucking loser." Like Vera of the Dark tore him to shreds on side scrollers. It was fucking hilarious to watch.
Revolves around being a Reddit mod, and he is doing his absolute best to destroy it. Because just within the span of a few weeks, this former Reddit mod went from getting kicked off his own community to, I guess, making phone calls to the US Congress like he's uncovering some sort of like online conspiracy. And somehow this wasn't even a meltdown in his head. This was his mission to make people see what only he could see.
Hello, Spez, Mr. CEO of Reddit. I hope you have received this public video that I have created and sent to you via your email. This video is about a topic of...
This dumb fuck even gave... This fucker has such little aura. He had to actually artificially create aura for himself in his video. He is so auraless and desperate to seem like he's some big Billy badass. Yeah, this is his original video that he posted.
Deadly seriousness. I was the top moderator of your #1 gaming subreddit, r/livestreamfail, before I was recently removed from that position by the Reddit Code of Conduct team.
So, if you spent any time watching live streams on whatever platform, chances are you've already came across the subreddit called r/livestreamfail. Usually, it just goes by LSF. It's been around for years and has grown into this kind of like main hub on Reddit for everything related to streaming. For example, when something goes down on a stream, like a ban, a fight, a meltdown, LSF is usually where it surfaces first, and where it gets amplified and then, you know, spread on Twitter and then YouTube videos and so on and so on.
By the way, just for shits and giggles, I actually went on Livestream Fails today to see if there was anything good to talk about. They've removed almost all Hassan content, and they have a new rule: no political topics. So well, I went and looked at it. I don't subscribe to it, but I actually went over to it to see if there was just anything funny I could talk about on stream. And they actually have a new updated rule of no politics stuff. Well, the Livestream Fail subreddit has a rule of no politics, and they've actually removed like the bulk of Hassan's stuff. The most recent Hassan thing that's on there is from like last month. So yeah.
So on. So naturally, the people overseeing this, and especially the head moderator, ends up with a decent amount of influence. You know, since they're not just removing spam or enforcing the basic rules, but they're also in a position to somehow kind of like shape what people end up seeing, what gains traction, and what quietly disappears before most people even noticed it was posted. And that person, since late 2024, was a guy who goes by Stale2000, whose real name is Brian, but I guess he also has a secondary account called Tarot Card, which, you know, we haven't covered anything here recently that ended badly that was in relation to tarot cards.
Yeah, we did. I didn't watch this video, but you guys know about this one, right? That this tarot card influencer. We watched a video about this way back when. Tarot card influencer did a TikTok where basically okay, quick and dirty of it without digging too into it. This TikTok influencer is like supposedly claims she's a legit tarot card reader. She did a tarot card reading. Ashley Juilliard did a tarot card reading on TikTok and made the claim that a professor, Rebecca Schofield, was involved in a murder in 2022. She basically did a tarot card reading and said that Rebecca Schofield actually killed someone. So she made the claim on TikTok, and it gained a fuckload of traction, and a lot of people, I guess, started telling the police and saying like, hey, you know, this woman killed someone, when she did. The professor was completely innocent of this, but because this influencer did a tarot card reading, she got the completely brain dead morons that consume TikTok to believe her when she said, oh yeah, that bitch did it. That bitch killed someone. And so the professor rightfully sued the fuck out of her and won $10 million from her. There was a judgment that this fucking stupid lying cunt of a TikToker actually has to pay her $10 million. Yeah, right. She also ignored multiple court orders to stop claiming that Rebecca Schofield was a murderer. Yeah, she ignored multiple court orders. She made blatantly false statements, and now she's got to pay this professor $10 million. Love to see it.
Absolutely not. But it's safe to say this guy's run as a mod here has been quite controversial way before any of this happened. Because right when he got his position as head moderator back in September 2024, several other mods went public almost immediately.
I will say it and again, don't go on TikTok because it's just brain deadness, no offense.
It is.
Moderator back in September 2024, several other mods went public almost immediately, and they asked the community to move to a backup subreddit and accused Stale of refusing to step down after the whole team voted to remove him, essentially citing what they described as a pattern of power abuse. So when you're accused of power abuse,
what we've heard.
What do? Well, apparently his response was to kick the entire team and replace them with his own people. Bro, that's like straight out of the dictator handbook. And even a detailed document outlining his...
He flat out said that he was a dictator. That's the crazy thing. Like, this dumb fuck actually made the statement. I'm paraphrasing. This may not have been the exact statement, but he legitimately equated himself to being a dictator. He did. Like, and he was proud of this too.
Conduct was sent to Reddit's admins, though publicly, nothing really came of it. Like, it didn't really take off and Stale stayed in place. Nowadays, there are two different subreddits running. Livestream Fail, which is, I guess, the original one, and then Livestream Fails with an S that never really managed to succeed. Then, March 2025 rolls around and a new mod team comes in. And this one, you know, the one he assembled after the first, purge, I guess you could call it, they essentially start having the same issues with him. But this time, things got a lot more heated because the new team found evidence that one of the moderators that Stale had added, I guess someone who was described as a power mod because he was running like 200 subreddits at the same time, he had some very bad and inappropriate interactions with under 18s, allegedly. You know, I'm just trying to tiptoe around this without getting the video smited.
I don't think I heard about that one.
That's at least my understanding of what happened. But when they brought it to Stale, according to their account, he sat on it and did nothing. And I guess when they pressed him on why, he admitted that at least part of the reason was he was worried that if he removed this guy, it might put his own standing at risk. Apparently, this guy's priorities are completely mixed up. But the moderators eventually approached the power mod directly and got him to step down voluntarily. Stale, however, responded by thanking him on the way out and then firing the mod team for making a fuss about the whole thing. Excuse me, what?
Well, by the way, I think what finally caused him to get booted, by the way, I don't know if Atozy is going to mention this, what caused this Stale to get booted is because he basically promoted might have been a crypto pump and dump or something, but Stale promoted something on live stream fails, if memory serves, like that was a scam. Yeah, like he literally promoted a scam, and that's when Reddit themselves stepped in and gave him the boot. Because he actively promoted a scam.
Yeah, that's just not someone you want on your moderating team. What do you mean, make it a fuss about it? So essentially, you have two complete separate groups of moderators who rallied against Stale, who now had the same fate. They just got deleted from the server because they had problems with them. So now we fast forward until early January 2026, and a new project starts, I guess, making noise online. And this is called $1 Million Fan. The idea is pretty simple. A bunch of content creators and their fans would compete head-to-head in a luxury mansion in Canada with an absolute enormous prize pool of $20 million. It was supposed to be developed for Prime Video with, you know, filming planned for November of 2026. And for scale, I mean, Mr. Beast's game show, which has also been produced and distributed by Prime, had a smaller prize. So right away, the numbers alone are massive. And a handful of streamers got behind it publicly. And on the top of r/livestream fail, a pin post appeared promoting it. And this was put there by Scale himself. And he said later that he reached out to the show's organizers on his own because he personally thought the project was interesting and wanted LSF to be a part of it. But still.
Well, okay. Let's be real here. That may have been what he said. What the reality is he thought he was 1,000 times bigger than he actually is. His level of self-aggrandizement and self-importance is through the fucking stratosphere. Again, this is a guy that publicly has said that he thinks Reddit moderators should be treated like rock stars. So yeah, he wanted the clout. He wanted to feel important. He wanted to feel like the big Billy badass. Like, yeah, people are going to start coming to me now for all kinds of sponsorship. They're going to have to come through me. That is the grotesquely inflated ego that was on this man.
Assured he wasn't paid to promote it. However, given the scale of the project, it was never going to stay contained to LSF. So once the pin post went up, $1 Million fans started drawing attention outside of the subreddit. And when the broader internet caught wind of it, they began digging. And what they found was definitely not reassuring, to put it lightly, because the front page of their website contained a mansion photo that was an AI-generated stock image. The company behind the show had been incorporated through one of the cheapest registration services in British Columbia, and the listed address was right beside a falafel shop.
Oh, this is too fucking good! Oh my god, this is too fucking good! Of course, it's a place next to a fucking falafel shop!
So it just didn't make sense. Then on top of that, the domain itself was registered in Iceland. And then suddenly, other things started to change. The prize amount had apparently shifted at some point. The main website said $20 million, but now suddenly it was $10 million. There was just a lot of things that didn't line up here. But an interesting find here was the fine print, because a section of the official rules appeared to have just been copy-pasted from Omaze, which used to be like this celebrity sweepstakes company that did like a whole bunch of like Lambo giveaways, and they just gave away everything. So it's like, why is this copy pasted from Omaze? And that company was shut down, by the way, for a whole bunch of lawsuits. But the Culver City PO box used for copyright claims was the same one Omaze had listed. And the company's name in the document was written as $1 Million Fan Reality Show Incorporate. Actually, there was two incorporates. $1 Million Fan Reality Show 1 Incorporate. What? And then you had one section which just seemed like ChatGPT was drafting notes, which also included some like weird note to how to frame payment language and dispute with credit card processors. So it's like, what is this website? What's going on here? Whatever it is, it was very sloppy. Or using.
It's called a fucking scam. The guy went all in on promoting a fucking scam. And he goes Pikachu shock face when Reddit says, yeah, we don't like this.
this comment for reference because that original website is no longer up. But the only sponsors anyone could identify were a handful of affiliate links, a supplement brand, and LSF itself. So that's interesting. But nobody could track down who was behind the whole thing or where the $20 million were actually coming from. So naturally, people started saying that this looked like a scam. And on Reddit, Stale started deleting those comments.
No, I don't think like Extra Emily looked like they were trying to get her involved. I don't think this was something done by Extra Emily. I should put that. Like they listed a whole bunch of streamers at the beginning, and Extra Emily was on that list. I think it was just them, like supposedly they were going to be involved, but I do not believe this was any way, shape, or form spearheaded by Extra Emily herself.
Actually, people started saying that this looked like a scam. And on Reddit, Stale started deleting those comments. So then, on January 13th, the $1 Million Fan website went offline without any warning or explanation. Within the same few days, though, every social media account associated with the project was either deleted or wiped clean. And at that point, Critical had already put out a video before the shutdown, calling the show suspicious and walking through the red flags. But once the site disappeared, he followed up, pointing out that everything about the collapse was consistent with what he described.
And it pertains to last night's video about the $20 million reality TV show called The $1 Million Fan Show. I speculated that it was a big scam, and a lot of Twitch streamers had been publicly put on the website. Some had even made announcements about their endorsement of the $1 Million Fan Show, and nothing about it seemed legitimate. But last night on stream, like 45 minutes after I posted the video, they took their website down. Then I was checking their other ancillary and all of that is removed.
Then back on Reddit, the conversation had shifted almost entirely from the show to the mod who pinned it. So people were formally reporting Stale to Reddit's admin team, asking whether he had been compensated and arguing that using a moderator position to promote an outside project was a direct violation of Reddit's rules. So 2 days later, Reddit's code of conduct team concluded the investigation and removed Stale from the LSF mod team. And this wasn't only his main account, this was also his secondary account, which was Tarot Card, and apparently had a third account called the Positivity Patrol as well. All of them were removed. So I guess just after a year, his run on Livestream Fail was completely done. Now, this is where things start going downhill. Because on the same day he was removed, he uploaded a video to YouTube addressing Reddit's CEO, Steve Huffman, also known as Spez. And he, it's safe to say went viral, to put it lightly. Yes. For all the wrong reasons. This is a crazy video.
Hello, Spez. I hope you have received this public video that I've created and sent to you via your email. This video is about a topic of deadly seriousness, and that is of Reddit moderation and the state of your platform. I became a Reddit moderator for one reason, and that is because I think that Reddit communities and correspondingly its moderators have massive power.
Wait a minute. He's got a filter on too. Not just like the fake aura. He's got like a smoothing filter on his face too. Look at how I missed this the first time we watched this. Look at how uncanny valley his face is. He 100%. Yeah, look at his fit. Look at it. Look at how smooth it. Like his skin looks fake. Look at his mouth. He 100% put a TikTok filter on this. Holy crap. My God.
Influence, and for some reason, nobody seems to notice, care, or take this seriously. To summarize, Reddit moderators should be treated like celebrities or influencers. Not because they deserve respect or anything, but because they actually have real power and influence.
Again,
No, you're a fucking Reddit moderator, you dumbass. She will have no power here. Your power is limited to, I don't like that comment, Nuke. I don't like that post, Nuke. That is literally all the power you have. You are not an influencer. You don't do fuck all. In fact, all of the popularity and all of the virality that came from live stream fails had absolutely jack shit to do with the moderators, and it had to do with the posters. The people that posted the live stream fail are the ones that have the power. You're just a butthurt little bald boy who sits in the cuck chair while your imaginary girlfriend bones Tyrone in your own bed. That's it.
I have never seen a stereotype more true than this. But for some reason, he also defended $1 Million Fan, saying there was no definitive evidence that it was a scam. And he took a direct shot at Critical for what he...
Yes, Rygat, my mods are rock stars to me. Absolutely. Every single one of my mods are rock stars to me. Dude.
Definitive evidence.
That's why I give you
that it was
tacos
a
on
scam.
Tuesday.
And he took a direct shot at Critical for what he felt was irresponsible coverage. And after that, Stale and Critical had this like small back and forth with a couple of response videos. And it was one of those follow-ups that Stale actually made an argument that was slightly more interesting than his original one. Because here he pointed out that he'd been able to run Livestream Fail for over a year with what he described as near dictatorial control. And for the most part...
Yeah. He literally said that. He literally said that he ran Livestream Fails with dictatorial control. Those are actually Stale's words.
Nobody above him stepped in. And that's not a small admission because, you know, what he essentially was arguing was, if I had all of this unchecked power, imagine who else does.
If we're worried about bias, I can promise you that there are way bigger fish to fry, that I'm not sure that brand deals for community events is really the biggest danger out there.
There are no qualifications to be a Reddit mod.
You're right. Maybe because there are no such qualifications, this is why we're seeing all the problems that we see. Reddit is a $50 billion company.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. This dumb fuck actually thinks that Reddit mods need to go through like an application process. This guy literally is trying to say like, oh yeah, Reddit mods should have like qualifying facets to them, and they should actually go through an application process through Reddit itself in order to be a mod on a subreddit.
That moderators have power over. Maybe not as much power as an overly invested, egotistical power mod as myself might like to believe, but power nonetheless. And most Reddit moderators...
Well, okay. Yeah, it's not what you'd say is like, maybe they should, just like with the Discord mods. But we're not talking about like specific subreddits vetting people that they bring in as moderators. We're not talking about on a small scale. This guy literally thinks that anybody who wants to be a mod on a subreddit should actually go through an application process through Reddit itself. Not just like, having someone who owns a subreddit do what we do with our Discord mods, where we will like put out applications for Discord mod. We'll, go through them, do interviews for our individual server. This guy wants it done on a platform level. He thinks that this should be done on a platform level where Reddit itself actually does applications and vetting for any mod on any of its subreddits.
Why'd I get the feeling that this specimen before us wouldn't be wheat but chaff when going through the moderator application?
He ain't good that. Hang on a second. Okay. Someone was trying to call me. I don't know who. Didn't recognize the number, so never mind. Yeah, Reddit, and that's what he was prosing is if memory serves, I don't know, maybe he'll correct me in a second here. If memory serves, he thought that Reddit as a company should be vetting the moderators.
Egotistical power mod as myself might like to believe, but power nonetheless. And most Reddit moderators are completely unqualified, biased, power hungry, and are doing a bad job. And Reddit isn't doing anything to fix it. Maybe it should.
But I guess what he didn't understand was that...
So yeah, maybe Reddit should do something. So he wants Reddit, the company, to vet any subreddit moderators. He is so self-entitled. He thinks his opinion is so valued that if he suggests that Reddit, the company, should vet every single mod for a subreddit, you're an idiot. Yeah, babe.
That's what all of the mods previously were accusing him of doing. So it's kind of like, okay, you just proved their point, dude. And to be fair, I mean, Reddit has had recurring issues with moderator overreach for years now. For example, just a couple of months before this whole situation, a single mod on the r/art subreddit locked the entire community after an artist posted about selling their own prints. And apparently they only reopened the subreddit after Reddit staff stepped in. So even though some of the points Dale was making could be true, I'm not sure he's the right messenger. And that's when he made things even worse, because he decided to call Congress. Like, literally. Dude, what are they gonna do? What? I guess the second he realized there was some sort of backlash and the videos maybe weren't landing the way he probably expected, he uploaded a video talking about the 4 levels of irony, which sounds a little bit like a pivot to me.
Yeah, this guy is definitely trying to capitalize on his 15 seconds of fame and trying to use this to boost a streaming career or boost a YouTube career. That is why. He is literally trying to take his notoriety, his literal flash in the pan moment, and he's trying to parlay that into a content creation career. He is a streamer. He does post videos, so he's trying to use this to gin up interest in him, to make him successful at streaming, to make his YouTube videos successful. Because if it's the whole thing of like, if people want to see a train wreck happen. And that is what he's attempting to do. He's like, if people hate me so much, then maybe they'll come to see me on my stream, because bad publicity is still good publicity, and maybe I can turn this into viewership, and I can get people to come to my stream, and maybe I can become a successful streamer or something like that. That's his whole intention. I feel like that's his whole intention for doing all of this, is just to basically, once again, give him clout, give him popularity, keep him in the spotlight, because he loves the spotlight. I think he's become addicted to the spotlight, and because, when all this shit came out, his video got a shit ton of views. He was a guest on Side Scrollers, for fuck's sake, so that gave him even more exposure, and he realized, ooh, I like this. I want more of it, and he's desperately trying to parlay this into a content creation career. Holy shit, say that 5 times fast. That's what he's trying to do. And thank you for the Prime Lost Bread.
But, then a month later, he starts calling Congress. Again, what are they going to do? You are a Reddit mod. I mean, ex-Reddit mod. What does Congress have anything to do with a Reddit mod? Like,
I know why he did it. I know why he did that. Do you guys know why he did that? Any idea? I think I know why. He probably reached out to Congress because, don't forget, Congress recently tried to bring in the social media platforms into the House Oversight Committee. That's why. Don't forget, it was a few months ago that the House Oversight Committee wanted to pull Reddit, Steam, Twitch, and I forget the fourth one. I forget which the fourth one was, but there was like four social media companies: Reddit, Twitch, Steam, and a fourth one. And they were going to pull them, they were going to bring the CEOs in and sit them down in front of the House Oversight Committee. Oh, yeah, Discord. Yeah, Discord was the fourth one. Yeah, they were going to sit them down. They were going to basically sit the CEOs of these companies down in front of the House Oversight Committee, and the House Oversight Committee was going to basically grill them. That's why he called Congress, because they were looking to do that. Now, that has gone nowhere. That has gone absolutely nowhere. Until they actually subpoena them, we are probably not going to see any of these CEOs sat down in front of the House Oversight Committee or any other committee in Congress. But that is why he called Congress, because a couple months back, they were looking to drag Reddit, amongst others, in front of them to answer questions about the current state of social media and how it's affecting society in the United States. That's why he did this.
If you want to be a Reddit mod so bad, just make your own subreddit. But in February, almost a whole month after this video, Stale started posting a series of videos making phone calls to government officials. Now, to understand why that even happened, back in November, executives from Reddit, Twitch, Discord, and Steam had been called on the front of the House Oversight Committee for a closed-door session about extremist content on their platforms. Those sessions were transcribed, and the transcripts are supposed to be released to the public at some point.
Wait, they had the meetings? I didn't know that. I didn't know they had closed-door meetings. Oh shit, I had no idea that they ended up having closed door meetings. Oh shit. And I may need to try and hunt for those transcripts. Yeah, we missed that. We missed that happening. The last I heard, I thought they'd gotten canceled and that they were going to reschedule them. If we can find the Twitch one, I might. If we can find the Twitch transcription, I might actually read that on stream. If we can find it. Mods, bring me that transcript.
Point. So Stale had decided to try to make that happen by himself.
Let's make the call.
The House Committee on Oversight and Government.
Hi, I'm calling back about getting some transcripts for an unreleased kind of event that happened. There was meetings with companies like Twitch and Discord, and were these ever released? This is about a couple months ago. Somebody told me to call back today.
So apparently, after being removed from the subreddit, he convinced himself that the closed-door meeting transcripts might contain something significant, possibly discussions about the platform moderation that hadn't been made public yet. So he started treating them less like common government records.
Ridley, don't go anywhere.
And more like hidden evidence to help him make a case for himself somehow. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand his mission. But he called for 3 consecutive days, working his way through different staffers and officials each time, asking them to release what he was calling the Twitch and Reddit files. And at least by the 3rd day, someone told him the committee was aware of his request and we're looking into it.
Hi, I'm calling back to see about an update of something that I called about previously.
And again, this is I'm guessing this is him on stream. What did I say? He's trying to parlay this into a streaming career. Here you go. Exactly what I said this way back then. I said this way back when all of this blew up for the first time. I said he was going to try and take this notoriety and try and blow it up into a streaming career. And look at what he's doing. The mic is okay. I actually tried one of those microphones. It's actually, I was actually not impressed by it. Honestly, the RGB on it, the audio quality on it, honestly, the small hypercast that I started off with is just as good as this thing. All this is just like colorful, and it looks a lot better than it actually is. The dual cast that HyperX puts out, which is the baby of this one, works just as fine as this. Yeah, it's the RGB to suck people in. The microphone quality itself is actually not good.
Some meetings with internet companies like Twitch and Reddit, and I think people forgot to release the transcripts.
I believe you talked about the staffer Peter.
Yep.
I believe, and we got back with the team, and they're currently they are aware of that. So that's the update I have for you now, but they are aware.
Okay. Okay, so they are aware. Were they, just to ask, did they forget before, or like, was it just like in the works, or is they just working on it?
It's just in there. I don't have an answer for you, but they are
It's
aware.
like, get off the
So
phone,
apparently,
loser.
contacting the government is pretty common, but in this context, it just made it kind of funny. So in the end, Stale's situation turned out to be multiple stories, which kind of overlap that I wanted to cover. You obviously have the $1 million fan side, which doesn't make sense whatsoever. You have the moderation history, and then finally you have all of his hypocrisy. But either way, the dude, I guess, just destroyed his dream life of being a Reddit mod because he was a little bit too power hungry.
Oh my god, if we can get our hands on those transcripts for when they interviewed Twitch, I would be very interested in that. I would be inclined to maybe bringing up and reading those transcripts live on stream if we can get a hold of it. Now, it sounds like they may not be released. Who knows if they'll ever be released? If they do release those transcripts, oh baby. Oh baby.